My husband's secret. My name is Grace. I am 45 years old now. I was a successful real estate agent. I sold many beautiful houses every year. People always thought my life was completely perfect. I always had a wide, reassuring smile ready for everyone. My husband was Robert. He was a very respected man in our city. Robert was a known community leader. Everyone in the area knew him well and respected his work very much. We had 2 children together. They were adults now, living their own independent lives far away. We lived in a beautiful, large house near the water. I loved our quiet, stable life very much. We were married for 25 wonderful years. That is a very long time to build a life together. I believed in Robert completely and truly. He was my partner and my solid rock. I never worried about our future together. I thought our marriage was strong like a concrete wall built long ago. I was happy. I felt truly and deeply happy then. Sometimes we just listen. Sometimes we also share. A like or comment is one way to share. But life can change very fast without warning. Sometimes the things you trust the most are not real at all. This is the hardest thing I learned on one cold Tuesday morning. I did not know that day was going to change everything I thought was true. I was preparing my first coffee in the kitchen slowly. Robert was still sleeping soundly upstairs in our bed. I heard the morning newspaper drop onto the porch outside. Everything felt completely normal and peaceful. I thought to myself, my life is safe. That sense of safety was only a picture painted carefully. It was a beautiful, convincing lie. Robert always woke up very early in the morning. He went to work usually before 7 o'clock. He often said he had many important meetings to attend. He helped many different people in the town with their problems. Sometimes he traveled to another city for one single night. He always called me promptly when he arrived at his hotel. He was very good at remembering all our anniversaries and special dates. We had many comfortable rituals together built over the years. Every single Saturday morning we went together to the small market downtown. We bought fresh bread and beautiful flowers for the house. Robert always held my hand tightly as we walked. I felt very safe and loved with him always nearby. He was truly a very good father to our grown children. He taught them strongly about the importance of honesty in life. Honesty was the most important quality to Robert. That is what he always told everyone around him. I was very proud to be his dedicated wife. My work as a real estate agent was important to me too. I was selling a very large and expensive property that month. I needed access to some old financial files very quickly. Robert kept many important business documents in his private study upstairs. The study was usually locked securely. He always told me, "Please do not touch my specific work papers, Grace." I respected his privacy and his space completely. I never went into the study when he was working or resting. This particular day was different, though. I needed the old tax forms for the important sale. I found the study key on his desk easily. It was hidden carefully under a large stack of magazines. I slowly opened the heavy wooden door. The room smelled strongly like old paper and expensive leather. I looked quickly for the needed tax papers on the bottom shelf. I saw a small black ledger there instead. It was not a normal business accounting book. It looked too personal and too private. I was just looking for the necessary tax documents, but the strange book was clearly calling my name silently. I felt a very small, sharp fear deep in my stomach suddenly. I told myself, "Do not open it, Grace. Just leave it alone." But my hand was already reaching out for the book quickly. I was very curious, just a little bit, about what it contained. I wanted to see only the first page quickly. Maybe it was a personal diary he kept hidden. I opened the small black book slowly and carefully. It was not a personal diary at all. It was a detailed record of many numbers and specific dates. It was meticulously neat. Robert always wrote everything down very neatly. I saw many dates and large recurring amounts of money listed. The money was always leaving our joint shared checking account. But it went to a different account number entirely. I did not recognize this specific account number at all. The transfers were completely monthly. They were substantial, large transfers too. I saw the bank name listed clearly below the amounts. It was a bank located in a major city 300 miles away from us. Why was Robert sending so much money so far away consistently? I felt both my hands starting to shake quickly and uncontrollably. I turned the page over. The next pages had more detailed information. I saw the vague word support written clearly next to the transfers. Then I saw a name written out. The name was simply Lila, and the word rent was written clearly next to the amounts. I sat down very quickly on Robert's heavy leather chair. My breathing became shallow and very rapid. This whole situation could not possibly be real. Maybe it was a secret charity organization. Robert did many good things quietly for the community regularly. I tried very hard to think logically about the numbers. But the payments were too regular and too secret. Robert never hid his real charity work from me before. Why hide this specific thing? I walked over to the desk computer quickly. I needed to check our finances immediately. I found the main banking records easily. I searched the transfer history records. The transfers were exactly as the mysterious book said. They started exactly 7 years ago.
7 years is an incredibly long time to keep a dangerous secret.
I felt a cold, hard wave wash over my whole body. I saw another line item on the black ledger. It listed a payment for school fees Max. Max? Who was this Max? I thought immediately, Max is a boy's name. Lila and Max, a monthly rental payment. School fees paid regularly. A quiet, deep understanding began to sink heavily into my heart. Robert was not just helping some random struggling family anonymously. This felt much closer and much, much darker. I closed the book quietly and slowly. I put it back exactly where I found it carefully. I closed the heavy study door softly. The perfect picture of my safe life was cracking very loudly now. It was a huge, frightening crack right down the middle of my world. I did not sleep well for 3 nights straight. I watched Robert very closely every minute. He seemed totally normal, maybe even too normal and calm. He smiled often. He asked me about my real estate work with interest. He kissed me gently goodbye when he left for his supposed meetings. I smiled back weakly, but my heart felt like a solid heavy stone in my chest. I decided I absolutely had to know the full truth now. I could not live with the terrible uncertainty and fear anymore. I remembered the distant city name from the ledger book. I remembered the name Lila clearly. I needed something truly concrete and undeniable. I needed proof that was impossible for Robert to deny later. I went back to the study when Robert was far away. This time I searched everything inside the room. I looked in every single drawer and every file cabinet. I found a small, heavy box hidden deep inside a safe that I did not even know existed previously. I knew the safe combination quickly because it was our old wedding date, reversed backwards. I opened the metal door slowly and nervously. Inside the safe was a small stack of papers. There was a birth certificate among the papers. The full name on the certificate was Max Johnson. The mother's name was Lila Hayes, and the father's name was Robert Johnson. My husband's exact full name. The date was 7 years ago. It confirmed everything I feared. I held the thin paper in my trembling hands. It was thin paper, but it weighed 1,000 pounds on my soul. I started crying very quietly then, but no actual sound came out of my mouth. My body felt numb and horribly cold all over. I found a small photograph next to the certificate. It was a picture of Robert. He was tenderly holding a small boy in his arms. The boy looked maybe 5 or 6 years old. Robert was smiling the biggest, most genuine smile I had ever seen on his face. It was a beautiful smile he never showed me anymore. I looked closely at the boy. Max looked a little like our own son did when he was small. Robert had another entire family. He had a whole other secret life carefully hidden. He was spending time there during his frequent business trips. This was not a quick, foolish mistake long ago. This was a long-term, calculated, planned deception. I put the papers back in the safe very carefully and slowly. I locked the safe immediately. I left the study. I walked slowly down the stairs. I needed to breathe the cool, fresh air outside the house. The reality hit me extremely hard. Robert had successfully lived a double life for 7 long years. My loving husband, the respected community leader, was a deliberate liar. I thought about my 2 children. They loved their father so incredibly much. I thought about the community. They admired Robert greatly for his integrity. If this terrible secret came out now, our whole world would collapse completely and publicly. I felt sick with pain and pure betrayal. I knew I had to talk to Robert that night. I was going to wait until he finally came home that evening. The painful confrontation was coming very soon now. Robert arrived home around 6 o'clock exactly. He looked tired but seemed happy and calm. He asked me gently, "How was your day, dear?" I looked straight into his face. I saw the practiced deception clearly there now. I said simply, "Come to the study, Robert. We need to talk very seriously about Max." His face immediately went completely white. The color drained away fast from his cheeks. He dropped his heavy briefcase onto the floor with a loud thud. He followed me slowly upstairs to the study. We stood quietly in the center of the study. The safe was right behind him near the wall. I did not shout at him. My voice was very calm and very low. I said clearly, "I know about Lila. I know about Max now. I know about the regular money transfers for 7 long years." Robert did not try to deny anything immediately. He looked only at the polished wood floor. He whispered back, "Grace, please listen to my side." I started to cry hard then, finally allowing the tears. I said strongly, "Do not lie to me one single more time. Tell me the absolute truth about the life you built far away from me." Robert confessed everything completely quickly. He said he met Lila during a faraway conference years ago. He said he truly loved me too, but Lila needed him for support. He claimed it was just financial support now. But I saw the photo earlier. The photo was not just financial support at all. My mind raced quickly with impossible, difficult choices. If I filed for divorce now, the scandal would ruin Robert's reputation completely. It would hurt our grown children badly and publicly. They would read about it in every single local newspaper. Our good social standing would be gone forever. Should I keep the ugly secret and maintain the perfect, beautiful facade for everyone? Or should I choose painful honesty and reclaim my dignity and self-respect? I looked at Robert standing there. He was begging me silently to forgive him completely. He wanted me to stay in the marriage. He wanted the perfect public life to continue. I thought clearly, I cannot live this terrible lie for one more single day. I choose the painful truth now, even if it hurts immensely. I made my decision that painful night. I told Robert firmly I was leaving him immediately. I did not want any of his money or his half of the house. I wanted my true peace back in my life. I packed 2 small suitcases quickly and immediately. I stayed safely with a trusted friend for a few weeks until I found my own apartment. The divorce process was difficult and very slow for us. We kept the private details hidden for a long time from the public. I protected our children fiercely from the worst of the horrible news. Robert eventually left his respectable position as a community leader. He moved away to another city soon after the separation. The perfect polished picture of our 25 years of marriage was broken completely and forever. But I did not break myself. I was hurt deeply, yes, but I was not defeated by his lies. I realized slowly that my own self-worth was not based on Robert's good reputation at all. It was based entirely on my own quiet strength and integrity. I continued my good work as a real estate agent. I sold even more houses than before. I learned slowly to trust myself again fully. I made many new, honest friends. I learned that true stability comes only from inside your own heart and mind. It does not come from a person or from a perfect large house. It was hard to forgive Robert fully, but I quickly forgave myself for believing the comfortable lie for so long. Now, I am truly happy in my new, smaller apartment downtown. I am truly free. I'm going to build an honest life now that is completely my own. That is the greatest lesson of all time. Honesty is the only true foundation that will never crack under pressure. If you liked this emotional story and want to learn more English through real-life struggles, subscribe to the channel and see the next story.